Anton Kaslotti, driver from St. Petersburg, and his BMW 22 Eurofighter is storming off, and this is the starting corridor, which is narrowed for the leader of the tandem runs. And here, as soon as the cones are over, he can start accelerating and the full throttle mode. This is the initiation. He goes a little bit slowly and misses the first era touch and go, but then he works through the first OZ on the second stripe of the RDS, and then he goes even wider to get the maximum for this sector. OZ 2 is left behind, and now this is the last section, the last uphill, the last takeoff is left. And this is a very good run. And this is what the judges think about it. 85 points is the total amount. Anton Kaslotti takes the first place this far, but at the end he was 10th. Charles Eng, the finalist of the previous stage, is ready to fight for victory at the stage number 2. But now this is time for him to get to top 32. And this is the flanker F is approaching the full throttle area. He is accelerating and does the Furidash. He is very good at this element. He was during the training, and now he is not doing worse. This is a transition, and he is a little bit late with the entrance to OZ 1, but nevertheless, no one really expected him to reach touch and go 2, and here is the OZ 2, the maximum width of the track, and now it's time to pick the last touch and go, which Charles Eng successfully does. But still with some little flaws, and the final result is 85.5, not the most impressive. Some for a driver with such impressive experience. And this is Denise Miguel from Syntec Fresh Marketplace and his Lexus IS. 3.4-liter engine under the hood of this vehicle, which is traditionally equipped with white discs. This is very easy to tell which car belongs to Denise, and this is very nice initiation, even though he can do it better. I'm sure that we will see something very similar. He picks 2 touch and goes in the first sectors, and this is the most valuable, the most precious OZ 1, which costs 10 points for the angle and for the line. And here he goes from A to Z using the entire space, and this is the last part where he touches the inner touch and go, and I think that he does it with one front wheel. And the total amount is 86 points, which is very good. Denise Miguel is 8th in the qualifying protocol, and this is his teammate Genuosef. On board Supra A80, nicknamed the Golden Eagle of Berkut in Russia, and he is doing his qualifying run, and there is a little introduction, and then this is the full throttle where he can go everything. He can do everything he can, and this is almost a backward, a very powerful initiation and a really awesome transition. Both must be as sharp as possible, and one wheel is outside the white line in OZ 1, and Genuosef doesn't let the speed go down, and he continues accelerating exactly as the judges prescribe. Then he stabilizes the vehicle using the handbrake without losing much speed, and he finishes on the broad line exactly as required. 33 for the line. These are the 2 points deducted for the white wheel outside, and this is the total of 86.5. Not much, but a little bit more than Denise has got. And this is Andreas Tapa from Lukoil Racing Drift Team. And his run number 2, Lexus IS number 8. This is the body kit that was specially designed for this car. Andreas Tapa is doing an initiation. Maybe not the sharpest possible, but this is an impressive angle and a lot of smoke. This is how the rear wings of this vehicle are designed to emit as much smoke as possible. Then he makes a little wave on the way to OZ 1, but nevertheless he fills it from the beginning to the end. And the same he does in OZ 2, and now only one inner touch and go is left, and here he is very accurate. 34 for the line, almost the maximum, 31 for the angle, and 24 for the style out of 30. And this makes a total of 89 points. This is rank 6 in the qualifying protocol of RDS GP 2023 Stage 1, and this is BMW F22, not a Eurofighter, driven by Nikolai Garcia. And this car has 2JZ engine. This is quite a heavy vehicle, but Nikolai Garcia knows how to operate it well, and this is, even though the line is pretty broad, he gets the inner touch and go. The second transition, and finally the OZ1 is appearing underneath the rear wheels of this vehicle. Nikolai Garcia is drawing a very beautiful and flowy line, and he reaches every clip without any problems. He accelerates and gains speed and finishes this run with a maximum score for the line, which makes the total of 92 points. This is a perfect result, and he is on the 5th line of the qualifying protocol. Georgie from Takama Forward Auto and his Silver S15. 950 horsepower is on the so-called billet block engine, which is an absolutely new generation engine based on the 2JZ, and a very experienced driver who is especially good at N-ring circuit stages. Georgie, this is the Brandmark Gotcha style initiation, an immediate rotation in the opposite direction in order to pick the touch and go number 1. And this is the transition. Here are the stripes that determine the OZ1 are flashing under the wheels, and no margin left between the car and the white lines marking the edges of the track. And now to the inner touch and go, Georgie is running to the finish. He could go a little bit broader. This is why it is 34 for the line and 33 for the angle, which makes a total of 93.5. And Georgie, he was 3rd, and now he is 4th in the overall ranking. Anton Kaslotti, the winner of the first stage of this stage, and he is driving his BMW E30, which got the first victory and the stages of Moscow Raceway in the entire history of RDS GP. Anton Kaslotti represents Ulyanovsk town, and he makes a transition exactly as prescribed by the judges. Thus, the second transition and the first outside clip. How many centimeters? Maybe 10 centimeters between the wheels and the white line, so that no one doubts that Anton can do it right. And here, at first, it may look that the exit from OZ2 was a little bit narrow, but exactly along the line he went. And this makes a total of 95 points. And this is really impressive. This is the bronze of the qualifying round, if such award ever existed, but no, we only give awards to the winner of the qualifying. This is Arcadian. For a while, he was considered to be the best specialist in qualifyings, but then he let himself down, saying that even a heap of one qualifying doesn't make you a champion. And last year, he finally became the champion of RDS GP, even though he didn't win any qualifyings. And after the failed stage 1 of RDS GP 2023, he figures out what to do in OZ1 very well, with a little margin, which allows him to become the candidate for maximum in the line. And then he uses a little bit of steering without any significant corrections, and Arcadian finishes with a maximum score for the line and 33 for the angle. Anton Novikov found some little flaws, and this makes a total of 95. And now the judges had to compare the worst attempts, and Arcadian has a little advantage against Anton Kaslotti. And finally, Roman Tivadar from Takayama Forward Auto, and this is his first attempt in qualifying round. Maybe this is not the most impressive result that he had in the first stage when he lost to his teammate Timofey Dobrovolsky. And now look what he does. This is a very nice initiation, then a transition, a little stabilization using handbrake on the way to touch and go. And I think that no sharp transition is required. Roman Tivadar is doing everything correctly, carefully picking one clipping point after another. And Silver S15 sticks to the white line. And finally, this is the finish. Bravo, Roman Tivadar. This was a perfect run, 34, 34, and 28 for the style, which makes a total of 96 points, which brings him the victory in the qualifying round. Roman Tivadar is the winner of the qualifying round of the second stage of RDS GP 2023.